Hello folks, welcome to Thursday Night Fights on YouTube. The channel is G for G. The game is Marvel Avengers Alliance Beta 5.9. And the name of the game, of course, is 5 PvP fights, or 5 PvAI fights, with a team centered around a theme. As always, we have to do the disclaimer. Look down below in the description for links to Facebook, Discord, and everything. This is version 5.9, which is going to be different than what is linked below, which is 5.2. So you're going to see some changes, differences, upgrades, glow-ups, however you want to refer to it. There is no ETA on Beta 6 as of yet. Beta 6.04 is the most recent version that is being worked on with the testers and coders. I did spend some time last week chatting with lead developer Goofy on Facebook, so he is alive and well, and some of his real-life items are beginning to drop off a little bit, thereby freeing him up to spend more time coding. Part of the issue there has been Unity has had upgrades recently, and when Unity does their upgrades or updates, the project files have a little bit of a licensing issue that need to be rectified and fixed, and that delays things a little bit because relicensing projects within Unity when Unity has an update is a little bit of a bear. So last week we did a pressure points related setup with paragon, exploitation, and pressure points. Today we are going to do a little bit of a variant of that. If you have any valid and workable viewer requests, go ahead and put them down in the comments below. And as always, because I did forget it in the beginning part of the disclaimer, there are no plans for a mobile version, and there will never be plans for it to be on any kind of a store that disperses games like Steam and things like that, because those stores traffic in licensed applications, and that is a different world. Even the Steam Greenlight project is something that we don't want to mess with, so it's not going to be on iOS stores, it's not going to be on Google Play, it's not going to be on Steam or anything like that. This is a offline game that is a standalone executable that once you download it, you unzip it, and you start playing. It is completely isolated. You could be on the middle of an island in the Pacific with no internet, and you can still play this game and save your progress. So let's go ahead and get over to PvAI. We have the Tactician uniform, the Neurotrope, the Chakra Strike, the the Crystal Shiv, and the Omni-Fury. We have Captain Britain, and we have Thundra. I have a Tactician uniform to offset the fact that blasters will chew those two up. Blasters always seem to have a pretty easy time with Captain Britain. He is more of a bruiser than a tank, so that means he basically is not exactly a glass cannon, but he takes damage more like a damage dealer than he does a bruiser or a tank. Thundra actually is a little bit more hardy than that. I believe I have the people ISO'd correctly, I think. Mostly. Alright, so it looks like we need to go ahead and ISO these guys up a little bit. So I am going to go to the original wiki, and we are going to do the PKB ISO setup. We go to pot kettle and we search. Well, sometimes you may have to specify the full term. We should be able to pick then blogs. How I've ISO'd my heroes. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is look for Captain Britain, since I believe he is earlier. And he has 3 masterfuls, 2 steadies, and a patient. 3 masterfuls, 2 steadies, and a patient. Let's see. Masterfuls are purple, purple, and white. So let's clear out what he has. ISOs in this are non-destructive, meaning when you take an ISO off of a hero, they do not get destroyed. So those ISOs that you started off the episode with over here, and you saw me just click away and take them off, they simply went back into the inventory. They were not destroyed. So what you can do in the beginning of when you are playing the game and your save is new and you don't have a lot of money and everything like that, what you can do is keep the ISOs only on the people that you are really like actively using at the time. And then when you're not using that character, or maybe they're doing jets, or maybe they're being trained and everything like that, you can simply just take the ISOs off of that person and just move them to whoever you want to go ahead and use at that point in time. It is actually that simple, and it's a really good money-saving technique at that point. Yeah, wow, I actually did not have... I did not have any patience. Interesting. Yes, sometimes that is true. Alright, so let's go ahead and go back to the white category. And let's slap a patient in there. So his stats are looking pretty good. Health and attack and accuracy are there, so he's going to hit, he's going to crit. Defense is probably what we would be building towards, but we don't have that slot open, which is the stoic. So that means we're going to go ahead and go over to Thundra at this particular point in time, which is similar with 2 steadies, 2 patients, 2 forcefuls. Alright, she has none. 2 steadies. Let's see if we got... Alright, we can give her some of these. And it's actually good I got the amount of patients in the store that I did. Looking good over there. 2 forcefuls and a stalwart. Should definitely have a bunch of forcefuls. They are usually a very good ISO. So I tend to keep a lot of those around. The abbreviated text sometimes, I will admit, in Redux does get a little bit rough. Like you see on this one, it says refined reactive foot and reactive forceful. Like, I think that is another forceful, but with the text getting cut off like that, admittedly, sometimes it is hard to tell. And as the tooltips get better, mousing over them should give a really good tooltip, so that if text is cut off like that, it shouldn't be that bad. And I believe the last one was a violent. So, okay, Thundra's looking pretty good. This is a little bit different than the setup I ran last week. I'm bringing in the neurotrope rather than keeping the enchanted crowbar, because I already have setups and I have executors over here. The neurotrope will help Thundra, as she likes rising up buffs, similar to, say, Wonder Man. Okay, so we've seen this team before. The agent with some of the with the Fury in hand. We have a Blaster Thor, which is bad. A Tactician Emma. There's an Infiltrator over there. I don't really have a lot of strength over them other than my Tactician against their Blaster. Alright, what are we going to start off with here? Let's just work on the agent a little bit. That is a really solid hit. There's a good chance the agent may just... Oh, don't stun. Don't stun. Crystal Shiv counter. Awesome. He has been set up with only Dizzy to go ahead and exploit. I don't necessarily think Britannica's going to do a massive amount of damage. I'm just gonna go ahead and open up right as might. Thor does inspire bravery. Is he gonna single target a bruiser? No, he just recharges. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and neurotrope. And I think I'll just chakra strike the enemy agent. Actually, no. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go for Thor first. Hopefully get my tactician bonus. Whoop. Chakra strike fall. Oh, that was weird. Chakra strike followed up, but then didn't seem to do anything. She only has strengthen, so I will hit the rolling thunder for some more rising up buffs. Psychic tap on my agent. Impaired. Okay, this one is worth trying to go for the big Captain Britain hit. Yeah. You knew that was coming. That's what people like to see when it comes to Captain Britain. When people remember him, that's what they think of, is that big hit. He took the Thor blaster hit. Ooh, that was a powerful psychic tap. I'm gonna try and go for the stun. Nope. Okay. Let's try for another Big Britannic. Big, good, overkill, not as good as going after the not blaster. Alright, so we are 1 for 1, and other than my agent getting near death, pretty easy match. Same team. We don't want to open up with the AoE, although slowed is good, stun is great. We don't want to piss off Thor too early. There are no flyers, so I think I'll just do this on the enemy agent. He counters with Fury, but it's kind of weak, and I only get Tenderize from it, which is fine. Thor inspires bravery, and is he going to recharge? Oh, he's going to do the AoE. Believe it or not, my bruisers actually did pretty well on that. And he activated my tactician. So, I think I'm going to do that to the enemy agent, who is an infiltrator, but I know the kit he's using is probably going to kill him with the debuffs. And I'm going to get some pressure points on Thor. Mental trauma is fine. We get a migraine, but that's not too bad. Agent counters because his infiltrator reflex is going, and Thundra actually took a lot of damage from that. She's got nothing going on. His blaster power has not been activated, so we know her diamond body is going to activate, so getting exposed on her is pretty good. Captain Britain counters because of the neurotrope. Let's try this. Solid. Can we get a bonus turn from that? No. Emma recharges, which is fortunate. She only has exposed, so her own paragon exploiter with perfect storm's not that great, but she does not really have a lot of good rising up buffs. Yep, Cyclone Smash. Now, those of you who might remember back in the day when EISOs and AISOs were out in the game, Kingfisher did a really good video on Thundra and some of her very specific ISOs, and there's a good Kingfisher video on Thundra out there. I've done some videos on Thundra, and I paired her up with Star-Lord, because Star-Lord likes to give rising up buffs too, and if you look for it on YouTube, it's called Team Thundra-Lord. Blaster, Scarlet Witch, Infiltrator, and Bruiser, so they have the advantage. I've got 1, they've got 2. So, we don't want to open up with smashing, despite the fact that's what people want us to do. We'll do that. I don't think this agent has the Phoenix Pinion. I think I want to get some more debuffs on the Beautiful Woman. Interesting follow-up. Thundra is really, really good when you start dealing with protectors. However, where protectors were really, really big were when the agent could run the Elite ISO or the escutcheon. In that case, Thundra was not actually very good at all because most of her attacks would cause the Elite ISO to drain. But if you were facing tanks that didn't have that, she was actually really solid because of her wall breaker ability. Still no blaster power over there, so we don't want to do that. Let's try Britannic. Oh my god. That may be one of the biggest single hits I think we've ever seen on the series. Holy hell, that was huge. Not much going on the enemy agent to exploit yet, so we still got to do a little bit of a workup. Nah, that kind of sucks. He got the Chaos Shield. That means we gotta pussyfoot with him a little bit. We gotta hit him with a weak attack, and my agent is like really hurt here. If my agent dies, at least I've gone out on a setup. God, I guess the Chakra Strike is one of the weakest things I could do. Yep. Okay. We should have absorbed... Well, the Chaos Shield is still listed, but I don't think it's actually there anymore. She still has not activated Blaster. Solid. Thunder's Burning, got the biofeedback. Okay, we don't have much choice at this point. She's got some Finest Hour. Let's see how the Perfect Storm works out. Not bad, but she dodged the final attack. She recharged. I think I'm going to lose my agent. Yes. The burning and the biofeedback is hateful. But Captain Britain puts it away. Okay, good. 3 for 3. And Captain Britain has been doing the most of the work, which of course is going to be a fan favorite. We do want to see if we can get Thundra to get some punch-outs over here. And it may happen with Scrapper Quicksilver over here. Kind of a push on this, 2 bruisers versus 2 bruisers. However, he is a scrapper, so I think the first thing I'm going to do is set him up with some pressure points. And this time, we can open up with smashing. Everybody's slowed, but nobody got stunned, and here comes the Quantum Jumper. That's just gonna piss off our bruisers. Gift of Battle. That's the single. Let's try to go for the stun. Oh, the agent protects on this team, too. This might be good for Thundra. Where did her wall breaker go? Performs a follow-up at... that should have been a wall breaker. Huh. Okay, game. You've got me mad. There's finally some tanks and wall breaker didn't go off. In the past... Oh, weird. The protection's being weird on this one. I think it may be... Oh, I think... Okay, it was because he was stunned. Alright, come on. Wall breaker. There we go with the thunder damage. Pretty solid. The hits themselves look small, but you gotta remember there's 3 of them going out over there. That was some pretty good damage. We're not gonna get the extra attacks on Hercules anymore because he's not protecting. But I really, really wanted to see that wall breaker go off on Thundra. In the past, it's been bugged where she will continue to attack the protector over and over and over and over until the target is dead. And I think it's fixed in this version, but I'm not too sure. It is funny when it happens. Those who come by the stream have definitely seen it go off, and it is quite the sight. It is hysterical. Thank you for that AoE tag team. We now have 2 enraged bruisers. Let's try this. How about you follow up? Rolling Thunder. Nope. No wall breaker. Damn. Ooh, the Odin staff, huh? Wow. Okay. Pulling out the classic annoying gear. Got lucky. Hercules recharges. He is the recipient of the unstoppable force, so that's a thing. Punch the agent out. Another tag team from Quicksilver doing light chip damage, just pissing off our bruisers. So now our bruisers are fully enraged. Let's do a wind up for the damage. Pretty good. And we get the stun. Let's weaken Hercules. Oh, Marilyn's GIF is kicked off. Oh boy. Yeah, that's another one people love to see. Look at his stats over there. That is good. I think we're going to leave Quicksilver for Thundra, so we're gonna have Captain Britain take on a god. Oh my god, 28k! Holy shit. He just smashed his own record. Okay, this is on you, Thundra. Are you gonna let Captain Britain show you up on each one of these fights, or are you gonna go out with a bang? Pretty solid bang. Captain Britain, absolute star of the show. I know a lot of people would love to see Havok with Captain Britain. Unfortunately, on this particular save, there was a bugged recruitment limit that I hit, which I think kicked in at about 55 characters. Havok was unrecruitable from his spec ops, but I was able to continue to recruit lockbox characters. I have a different save in which I can work with Havok and Captain Britain, but I think at this point we have beaten a lot of the pressure point teams to death, doing them 2 weeks in a row, so I think we'll take a break. So, if you have a reasonable theme team, put it down below. There was a viewer request for Avengers Black Widow and Avengers Hawkeye, and while I do think they are a good PvE team, I'm not that up on doing a video for them in PvP. That is better to do it from my clean save over in beta 6.04, because they are early characters everybody's going to get and everybody's going to be using, so it might be better to do that with them over there. I do have a Coulson's Revenge in that save now, so maybe next week I can do a Hawkeye and Black Widow PvP video over in beta 6.04. Kind of like a beginner PvP video compared to this, which has got a lot of very solid characters and gear. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video this week. No bonus fights, none of them are needed. You may have seen the little short on my channel that Marvel Heroes Server Emulator 0.5.0 has been released by Crypto and his team. I will be doing a video in which I install that update and then play the game and take a look at it from the trailer, it looks like a lot of abilities are now super functional, so it's going to be a ton of fun. Thanks a lot for stopping by, and have a great weekend, everybody.